Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm 23 and I'm the director of HopeMovement. My story began really when I was 14. I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue as well as an anxiety and depression. It was a really terrible time in my life because I felt really alone. I grew up in a Christian family and I was taught that God loved me and He wanted the best for my life. Yet suddenly when I was so sick and I was starting to think about suicide and hurting myself, I felt like God was far away and I started doubting whether He even cared. One night after I'd asked God to heal me and He hadn't miraculously done it, I was laying in bed and I felt such a darkness like never before. And I said to God, I don't think I can do this anymore. Life's too hard. And it was like for the first time in my life, I felt God speak to me and He said, Rachel, I've been here all along. And I realized that God really cared. At that moment, I realized that although I didn't understand what was going on in my life, God was actually hurting for me and He had a plan through it all. So after that, I decided that I'd stick with God and I held on. The following years were hard. It didn't get easier all the time. I would have relapses. I would go from going to 2 periods of school a week to 4 days a week. But I kept having to go back to God and saying, God, my hope is in You. He was the reason why I was alive. And that's why I have a passion for people and a passion to share hope with people, because if I didn't have hope, I wouldn't be alive today. I had a relapse when I was 19 after school and I got really suicidal and it was extremely difficult. But I realized that God still cared. He still cared. He didn't see me as a failure. And that was really special. The exciting news is that about 6 months ago, I actually got prayed for and I'm completely healed of chronic fatigue now, which is so exciting and it's amazing. But the thing I've realized more than anything is that the healing wasn't so much about being physically healed of chronic fatigue. It was about the healing that God did in my heart. And that was knowing that hope is real in the hard times and in the good times. So if I could share a message with you today, it's that you can make a difference. Even if you've been through hard times and you're going through hell at the moment, you can make a change. We are the generation that can change this culture. So let's go for it. You are not alone. Tomorrow can be better. Hope is here.